Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 30 of Brewing Conversation. My name is Matt Ross,
I'm Charlie Van.
and here we are back once again with episode 30, which, man, I don't know about you, but that kind of, I don't know, it kind of seems like a lot, but not really. I don't know. So what do you think?
I mean, yeah. Well, we started this in 2017, so we took a little bit break just because of work life,
Yeah.
but the fact that we're still that we're right at 30 and many episodes. I mean, it seems a lot, but it really doesn't either. I don't know. We kind of flowed with it. So, but like we said, we've been trying to make this consistent again, especially with Zoom. I mean, this is awesome. For a while we were doing it through Skype, but the video, the way Zoom looks and the way it shoots back and forth, video wasn't something we were striving for originally, but we do have a YouTube channel, so please check it out. But Zoom is cool. It just sounds more clearer.
Yeah. And I think it's going to, it's going to be good for the YouTube crowd because now they have something to actually watch. I don't know. I don't like watching like a blank video and just for the purpose of audio,
Oh yeah, where there's like the the podcast logo or random pictures of like hanging out and stuff.
Right. Or like, hey, look at this funny video or whatever, and then nobody sees anything.
Yeah.
So this kind of adds more depth to the show because now we can say, like we're going to today, we're actually, and kind of what we did last week, we're going to actually show you what these beers look like.
Yeah.
And today I came prepared for these beers. For those of you that are following on Facebook and Instagram, you already know what I plan on sharing. But this time I brought a glass so people can kind of see what it looks like. Because I kind of like to look at the color, And speaking of that, what do you think? Should get started on the beers?
Yeah, let's crack them open.
So I was thinking, what we could do is we could like talk about our first beer, both of us, and then we can go to another topic or whatever and just talk about something else.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then when we both give each other the nod, then bam, we'll go to the second beer.
Let's do it.
That way I don't have to pause. This is still more fluid. So I got a...
That is a glorious sound. I don't know why I've always...
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's going to be hefty, boys. So this is a Charon, I think it's Charon.
Charon.
And this is from Martin House. They're on the west side of Fort Worth, pretty close to home. And on my way home today from work, I really was like, you know what? I should go get some beer to go, which I actually haven't done since the law was signed into effect. And so I thought, what better place than Martin House? So this is a brandy barrel aged imperial stout, and it's 16%.
Wow.
So this thing is going to be very alcohol forward, probably. Yeah. It's going to pack quite a wallop after just one. So I kind of wanted to show people doing that over a keyboard is,
it's tricky.
Yeah.
You got it.
Now you can.
Man, that looks, it's very got a coffee, which a lot of stouts do. It's kind of like man, that looks like a really good stout.
I really should have thought about this. This is really hard to pour whenever you're filming it and you have your pretty decent keyboard in front of you and stuff. So here we go. It's finished.
Wow.
Pretty nice color. Great head on it. Super thick.
Yeah.
I can't even see the light from the computer screen on this thing. I can't even see the lights from the keyboard, and they're pretty bright. They're like LEDs, but man. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and just drink it in with the head on top and see what it's like.
Ooh.
Ooh, man.
Yep. 16%, right?
Yeah. 16%. Wow.
Coming out strong from the gates.
Oh, that has actually got a lot of it's got a lot of bite to it. It's these beers that are aged in spirit barrels and everything, man, they come out pretty strong.
Yeah.
This one, man, I love Martin House, but I'm not so sure I'm a fan of this actually, because it's quite a bit. and really the alcohol taste kind of dominates it. And maybe I'm not picking up on it. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are other things in here besides alcohol, but man, it was just like coffee notes, like dark chocolate, kind of almost bitter,
Yeah.
damn, and then just the alcohol comes in and washes it all
Yeah, it
over,
sinks in.
and it's like, I could actually feel some warmth in my throat, and I normally feel that from like spirits,
Yeah.
liquor,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Whiskey.
wine, high
Yeah.
alcohol drinks. It's just like
Well,
that.
that is a pretty high. I mean, 16%.
Yeah.
It's kind of actually. It's if you've ever had Dogfish Head 120 minute, which I believe is like 17 to 18%.
Hmm.
It's kind of like that. It's got a bite that comes right after. Yeah, those will give you a buzz for sure. You can't have more than one. I mean, you should.
Oh,
Let's rephrase that. You shouldn't have more than one.
yeah.
But people are staying at home, so
Yeah. That thing is, yeah, it's very, it's got a lot to it. It's got a lot of, in wine, they call it body. It has a lot of body. Maybe
body.
they do that for beer too. I'm not a
Yeah.
cicerone, so I'm not really sure, but man, they got that thing. That's, it's going to be a lot for the body to process, but it is growing on me now that I've had a couple of drinks. I think it's really because like whenever you look at a beer and you look at the description on the can,
Yeah.
you kind of get an idea of what you think it might taste like in your head, and then when you drink it, you're like, that's not what I thought at all.
Yeah.
Maybe that's maybe mine. It kind of took me back. This definitely isn't porch pounder, obviously.
Yeah.
But this is like a great beer, I think, to even enjoy near a fire, kind of a chilly night, maybe post dinner type situation if you have the room for it. Maybe like a fish dinner, something light, and then you can drink something like
Definitely
that.
not a steak.
Yeah, but man, this is like probably like a loaf of bread in a glass or something, man. It's got a lot to it, but it's good.
I mean, imperial stouts. I mean, they're heavy. I mean, they're definitely heavy. I mean, they give you that dessert kind of feel. Very kind of more chocolatey, coffee.
Yeah, this is
together.
Chocolate, dark chocolate specifically, because it's not necessarily smooth, but like coffee and a little caramel in there as well kind of comes in. And then you can actually taste a little bit of the brandy too. So usually when they do stuff like this, it's super complex, the flavor that you can get out of it. And I imagine it wouldn't be the exact same every single batch because, they get these barrels and then they usually purchase the barrels and then use them. And, I don't know how long they use them for, but I'm wondering how long they let this age in here. They usually 3 to 5 months. So there you go, right there. This could be 3, 4, or even 5 months, and anywhere in between. So I wonder why they did that. Maybe to kind of see what differences.
Yeah, I mean, with that 60%, I mean, it's gonna age. Like it's, some of those like you can just leave in your fridge for several years, and it will age strongly. Yeah. I love the artwork. I mean, we were talking about this on the last episode. Just the can art of a lot of these breweries is really on point.
Yeah,
it kind of brings character to the beer.
Right. You have to show it like this while I'm talking because it will only show the screen while I'm talking. So I have to keep talking while I spin it. There we go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, my arms are getting tired. But yeah, it has grown on me, but like I said, maybe this one's like a one and done for me. It's quite heavy, But I'll be working on this bad boy. So what do you have to show everyone?
I have, and we've talked about this before on the podcast. This is Steam Theory's Singularity. Hope you can see that can. I really love the can art. They just released this beer in can. It's their Blonde Ale. It was actually their very first beer that they brewed. They opened in 2018. I think it's one of the best blondes on the market. I just love that can art. Like if you can really see, it's like goggles. And for those tuning in, listening in, they're out in Trinity Groves here in Dallas. So go stop by, pay them a visit. They also have great food, great pizza. I actually had a pizza the other night, their margarita pizza. Spot on. But yeah, the blonde, I mean, when summer rolls around, well, it was already like 97. Like 2 days
Tuesday.
ago.
Yeah,
This is perfect for that. I mean, it's good year round, but it is very crisp. You've had it a lot, and I mean, this is a good one to definitely
yeah,
start with. But I mean,
yeah,
you've had a couple of these.
yeah, man. Those that's one of Steam Theory's. It's one of my favorite beers of theirs. Um, is Singularity actually because I just like that style of beer. I
Yeah,
like
it's
something
nice and
that's
crisp, very
yeah.
light.
I really like crisp, refreshing, kind of light, um, but great kind of just lagers in general and ales, light ales. I always talk about how much I like them. I used to be more stouts, but a long time ago. But I kind of like
Yeah,
spread it out.
it's very yeah, it's very crisp, very
Mm-hmm.
smooth, very light. I like I said, for a blonde ale, I mean, I think it's one of the top out there. Um, it's yeah, it's very enjoyable. I blonde ales, Kolsch's, Pilsners, to me, those are all like very I call them like social beers, meaning I mean, you
Yeah,
open at a party or gathering, you can have another one and then another one. Obviously, be smart about it, but it's not it's only and this is very common for this style of beer, but it's 5.2%. Um, but
yeah,
yeah, I mean the moment I remember when they released this, they also have a gluten-free version, not in the can, but in the tap room as well, which I think is great. And it you can't even tell that it's gluten-free, which is I've never had a gluten-free beer before that, but I've heard like people have tried to make them and they just don't quite taste the same. I couldn't really tell with that the gluten-free Singularity, but this is really good. Once again, this is Singularity. It's their blonde ale from Steam Theory Brewing Company. I mean, this artwork is, and you can see it on their social media page, but whoever designed that artwork, kudos to them because it's really cool and it brings out that scientific atmosphere which Steam Theory has, especially if you go into the bar, the restaurant area is really
yeah.
kind of has like a steampunk feel
Mm-hmm.
to it.
Yeah,
Hopefully, when everything gets back to normal, we're able to do an episode with video there in person because visually, when you walk in, you're like, you can make a movie in here or something like that. This is so cool. So, congrats, Chuck and Jonathan over there at Steam Theory, and Kirk Roberts, who is the brewmaster. Oh, they did a great job, and I'm glad to see their beer in cans.
yeah, yeah. It's been a while coming from them. I kind of was wondering when they were jumping on board, but this is the best time. You can buy beer to go.
Yeah,
People don't have to bring growlers or whatever. Just you can it up, which I think is good because that would help with distribution, obviously. So
yeah.
they could kind of put their stuff in other venues besides just their own, and probably a few select local bars and whatnot that might have their stuff. But it's been pretty cool to kind of see them grow from what they started and the kind of beers they've been coming out with. And so yeah, Singularity. That one's one of the ones where, like you said, it was like one of the first ones that they made when they opened, and that just shows you that beer is solid because here we are almost 2 years later after their opening. I think 2 years will be August, I believe.
It is really cool. I'm just taking a photo here just to keep because I that that artwork is just but that's what you need. Like we were talking about last episode, the artwork on these cans is so intriguing and it really adds character to the beer and and sometimes it's not what you can get with I love crowlers and growlers, but you don't get that with that. What kind of draws me sometimes to craft beer is kind of the cool things. And like you said, this is a step towards possible distribution. Um,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
but yeah, no, I like it a lot. I mean, you can definitely have a couple of these, and it should be all right.
Sure. Should be
It's
all
definitely
right.
not 16%.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 16%, man. I don't know what I was thinking, but
I mean,
'cause
hey, it's
I
Friday.
well,
You're inside.
I ate dinner, so just
Yeah,
before
so it's
this.
your dessert.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's like when you go to those restaurants and like you have the chocolate lava cake that you're like, or the mousse chocolate cake. Like if you go to ever bit of Maggiano, it's like, oh my god, it takes you almost 2 days to finish that dessert, like their molten chocolate mousse cake. That's almost like that sometimes when you drink imperial stouts. Like it's just like, oh, can
Yeah,
I even get through this? Like not that it tastes bad, it's just it's heavy, it's real thick, and the
yeah,
fact that you have them on 16% packs a little extra punch.
yeah. It's certainly it's packing wall up. I'm about halfway done with it right now. So, but yeah, it's even when I go like this in the glass, it just sticks
Oh,
to the side of the glass.
oh yeah,
So
it's
it's
real thick.
oh man, I don't know what I was thinking. These actually come in 2 packs at Martin House.
Yeah,
They have some beers like this where they just stack them too high and then they put them in a box. The box usually has pretty much the same artwork, but it's a 2 pack, probably $10 2 pack. Honestly, I'm not really sure. I just went there and just bought. Asked them how many beers can I buy in one go, and they said 24 cans, 12-ounce cans.
yeah.
And I was like, okay. Um, and then that's when I started picking everything, and it's it was pretty cool walking out of there, the local place with pretty much like a 24-pack case of beers,
That's
different
awesome.
ones. Got bought their Pilsner.
Oh, their Pilsner
There's
is really good.
yeah, mm-hmm. The one with the pink on it, and then the white and pink and blue or something like that. And then I got their Salty Lady, which is good in this time
Yeah,
of year when it's supposed to
I
warm
mean
up.
that's one of their famous.
Yeah, I had that for the first time ever at this place called the Bearded Lady in
Yeah.
Fort Worth. Yeah, it's the first
Well,
time
there's
I've had
also their breakfast daybreak. That was the very
it.
first beer of theirs I had. I actually had it. It's gone now, but Luck in Trinity Groves had it for brunch. I was like, oh man, this is really good. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and that just opened the Martin House door.
Oh yeah, yeah, and they've been, they make sours and all kinds of other stuff and I like sours, and those can be tricky sometimes, especially if they can contaminate other beer where other types of beers are made, and it's really hard to clean it out.
Yeah.
Pretty aggressive, um, but yeah, I'm just trying to chew my way through this thing.
Yeah, it's it's heavy. Like that's why I was like, I just gotta go with this. And the way it's so sunny here in DFW, I was like, man, good to have a, it's not hot, but it's good to have a nice blonde ale. But
Yeah,
I'm actually, you won't usually say this as a Texan, but I'm kind of ready for summer, and not because not because with everything that's going on, because this is where you get so many good like pilsners and great sit at the pool. Like obviously don't like the heat and humidity, but it kind of gives you more of an excuse to try different Kolsch's. I love St. Arnold's Summer Pilsner. It's a really good one. Of course, Carbuck Love Street Kolsch, which you can have year round, is great as well. And now that you can enjoy a Steam Theory Blonde Ale, Singularity.
yeah. If you go by there and get it, grab a pizza or something, then you can
Their
grab beer to
pizza,
go.
man, is good. Obviously, our times at Old School there in Arlington, which is still, I think, one of the great hidden pizza, not hidden, but you kind of word of mouth.
Local place, yeah.
Yeah, in Arlington there. But for Dallas, I would say the pizza is really good. They have a kind of a fig pizza, which you're like big, fig jam. It's really good. They have it's the white pie, which is white sauce and bacon. That's really good, and then you can build your own, which I always love that. When you can kind of mess and build a lot. So it's good. I mean, all their, and we've done this. Their food, their cheeseburger, everything that they make over there, it's good. So it's I spent a lot of we spent a lot of time over there. But during this time, we said it last episode. We don't is definitely go support Martin House, go support Steam Theory, go support all these local breweries. You know, luckily with Beer to Go, it's made it very possible for them to keep doing business in the sense of connecting with their customers and that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so definitely go support. Grab if they have food, order their food. And a lot of these breweries, some of them have their own food. A lot, and especially the brew clubs and stuff like that. It's really good. I mean, but definitely Steve Theory's got really good food. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do have good food. I remember that peanut butter and jelly dessert. You remember that thing? It's like you do. It kind of skipped out. Do you remember it though?
Yeah, they had the peanut butter jelly dessert. I mean, they've had a lot of different
Man, that was
desserts. It's
phenomenal. Had like little
you
wafers in it.
Oh yeah,
Man, it's
it's so,
unbelievable.
but it's so tough getting to dessert when you get through the entrees, like the
Yeah,
cheeseburger. When duck is in season, they have different duck. Their duck de taquitos is really good. But now they're really focused on the pizza, and they still have their burgers, and they have wings. The
right.
wings are really good.
Yeah,
You had it. I haven't had it yet. The chicken parmesan sandwich there.
yeah, it was good.
Thing looked huge.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was pretty much. It was pretty thick. Like looked like just like a cut of chicken breast that was
Yeah.
breaded. And then they had the marinara and the mozzarella
Yeah.
with the mozzarella
Yeah, the
pouring
mozzarella.
over it and
Yeah.
melting. Man, it was choice. Yeah, I'm never disappointed when I eat there. Like
Oh
ever.
no, yeah. I sometimes don't even go home and cook. Like I would go after work because working up the street, and yeah. I mean, it's hard. Like you have to kind of have your fix. It's like the
Yeah,
food's so good, and I'm kind of one of those. It's definitely worth the money, so I'll go over there. And of course, the beer and stuff like that as well. And the staff there, everyone's great. Once again, Chuck Jonathan, the owner, is doing a great job over there.
for sure.
Um, and hey, shout out to Chris Harrison, who's an investor who's been on the podcast twice, and this Singularity is one of his favorites as well. So they're all doing a great job. Like I said, Kirk
Mhm.
and all the staff there, Josh, Arian, um, Nita, all the bartenders over there. I'm just going to name off, but hey, they're all great because what also makes a place so great, and this goes across the board with any place in breweries, is the staff. And I feel like they're doing an awesome job. And I know right now it can be a little tough with everything going on, and that's why it's very important. I'm going to say it again, to go by and show your support.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've been eating locally where we can. Man. So like last Saturday, every homeowner kind of has this in the back of their minds, I think, especially down here
Yeah,
in Texas where it gets really hot. But man, Saturday, our HVAC system went out, our AC system
yeah,
went out on a Saturday. And weird thing is that it didn't break while using the actual heater or the air conditioner. It was the heater that went out. That's when I noticed something was wrong with the system. And for those of you who don't really understand like HVAC systems, especially in homes or like apartments and everything, they always have an outside unit and an inside unit. Inside unit's usually like in a closet or an attic, depending on where they put
yeah,
it. And the outside unit's that stuff, the thing that clicks on. Well, the compressor in that broke. It's what they call a grounded compressor, which means that it's shot.
yeah,
They're only designed to run. They don't have they have like a 12 to 15-year lifespan, I think is what he said.
yeah.
And long story short, to replace that compressor, which is inside the outside unit, to replace that alone was like $6,000.
Dang, that is tough.
So that was a problem, which
Yeah,
is something my dad and I were kind of thinking was going to happen because he and I actually looked at the system before the text came out, and it kept tripping a breaker outside. So we knew that there
yeah,
was an electrical problem. So obviously we were hoping, well, okay, maybe, just maybe, it's like a frayed wire or something. And then it's
yeah,
just something easy like that. But no, it was the compressor that was causing the short. Anyway, so it was going to cost $6,000 just to replace that. And the system that uses this refrigerant that's called R22, which is super rare because it's being phased out of the US by
yeah,
the government. And it's like $150 per pound. And a system like ours holds 15 pounds. So we just ended up getting a new system, which honestly wasn't that much more than replacing that one part. So we got the system in and out replaced, which is nice. And we won't have to worry about that for a while. So while
yeah.
I'm,
That would have been bad if this was like June, July,
mhm.
and that went out. That
But
would
their
have been,
turnaround was pretty quick because I think I called them Monday. They came out
yeah,
Tuesday to look at it.
yeah,
And then Wednesday, they put in a new system.
yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So it was like, boom, boom, boom. Actually, they were offering to come out on Monday when I called, but I was like, no one's home. let's try tomorrow.
That would be in a tank top right now if that wasn't.
Man, yeah, the new system works great and it better, because it, it costs us a pretty penny, but it's one of those things with homes, man. You know,
Oh yeah.
and
How old is your house as far as
it was built.
overall?
It was built in 1979, so it's like
Okay.
about 41 years old almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that system that we had in here was from like 2007 or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's still,
And who knows? They say that it can last longer. They can last longer if you take care of them. And this house was rented, so I don't think people were doing routine maintenance on it, like cleaning the outside coils or the ones inside, or having like an HVAC guy come in and
yeah.
clean things and do maintenance, because they said that alone will help it last even longer. So in a way, yes, it sucks, but we're also getting a brand new system that is more efficient and won't use as much electricity,
Yeah.
which will save us money on our bills. So either we're still kind of saving money, I guess, in a way, and it will pay for itself. But yeah, that was just something that was in the back of my head. When we bought the house, I was like, well, I wonder how long that AC will last. And yeah, sure enough,
Yeah.
about a year and a half.
Yeah.
And it quit out. But man, we probably put that through hell, because we keep our house like at 70 degrees, which is pretty balmy.
Which some would say that saves you money. I mean, I know in apartment life, that's kind of ideal.
What do you keep your apartment at?
Probably 73, 72, around that. Just because utilities. I mean,
Chewy will probably get cold.
I think he's fine most. Well, I'll do it when I'm here. Like I don't know. It's hard because yeah, I mean, that's another thing. Having a dog if I had a bigger dog, I probably could get by with a little lower than that. But I try to keep around there. I think he's fine with that. Some days it depends. Like if it rains, it can get cold. So I'll while I'm here, I'll put it up towards 80. But I mean, lately, obviously, and I'm in a new apartment now, so I've been trying to manage that. Actually, the first month they're like, don't have to deal with the utilities because it's like a little bit behind.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a good thing about apartment complexes. Sometimes you can be right when you move, it's a little bit behind. But next month, I've been trying to keep it right around there so it doesn't get you, because that's what will get you. And I feel like winter is probably for many people. That's where the bill gets higher, obviously, because it's get colder. So summer.
I think it's the opposite.
So
Usually,
I may be totally wrong. Somebody's gonna comment. It's like you're wrong. I was like, I don't know. Like I keep it about the same. I don't know. I think. Well, I mean, then again, summer is hot, so either way, it's gonna.
right. And it really depends on.
There's no catching a break.
Yeah, like how cold it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if we have a really cold winter, then yeah, you could probably rack up the heating bill pretty good. But for us, our bills are always higher in the summer.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep, and partially it's our fault because we're keeping our apartment at 70 degrees, which a lot of people will think that's psychotic. I'm pretty sure my parents keep their house at like 77, 78.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to live through that. That was a lot of like laying on top of the bed with the fan on.
Oh yeah,
because I like to sleep in a cool room, and have fans on and stuff. And
yeah,
in the wintertime, I open my window.
Grandmother was alive. I remember one summer I spent a couple of weeks at her place, and it was. I mean, even back in Florida as kids, I mean, it's like 80 to 90, and I was like sweating. Some people like that, or vice versa. Some have to have it cold,
Yeah, I notice a lot of the ladies like it when it's really warm outside. They tend to get colder easier, So the ladies typically like it to be warm and kind of hot, but I know some also that hate the heat. Like my wife hates the heat.
Well, Texas heat is not fun. I mean, it's not normal heat.
No,
it's not just the heat; it's the humidity that gets added with it. It's like the humidity. I'll never forget Brent, our buddy Brent. A couple of years ago for his birthday, I bought Ranger tickets, and we sat at left field. I was so excited because like good seating, and it was like 103 3. This is like Memorial Day weekend, which is very rare for May to be that hot. I think it was the hottest May since like the 70s or whatever. It was
Yeah.
101 or 2. We're sitting out there just freaking drenched. I remember Brent was wearing all black. I was like, "Why are you wearing all black? I don't want to see people, like he didn't want to like look like he had sweat stains. Like that's not going to be a problem out here.
Yeah.
Everyone was just sweat like by the third inning, and everyone's on the concourse. That's actually when I had Kona Big Wave, which you had on the last episode.
Yeah.
Probably didn't help. We were having a bunch of craft beer and going out in the sun. Of course, my dad's from Miami, and he's sitting out there, no problem. The game goes 10 innings. It was the most excruciating torch 10 innings out there. But, yeah, I mean, the heat here, when it gets hot and the humidity, obviously, it's miserable. Of course, Miami can be a lot the same, but still.
Right. Yeah.
You're never prepared for it. At least with winter, you can throw on coats and layers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You prepare for heat. It doesn't matter. Like they said, there's only so much amount of clothing you can take off.
Yeah. It's true.
Before your Steve-O.
You can't just, strip off your skin and your muscles and.
I mean, you could. You may go to jail.
Yeah.
You may become YouTube famous, but but no, yeah.
It might also begin a citation.
Yeah. Well, working downtown, I always see people in suits around June and July.
Oh, man.
How? That's one thing I'm thankful for, that we don't have to wear suits, because oh my, you don't wear a suit or anything like that. You wear polo.
I pretty much wear everything. I wear everything except for like the jacket. The coat.
Okay. Do you do a button down?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you don't do like a polo.
I do polos in the summer more.
Well, see that. So at least you have a choice. Like I see, like people that don't have a choice. It's like I'm like, that's just miserable.
Well, and sometimes it's a certain time of year actually where they don't want us to wear short sleeves.
Yeah.
And I forgot, it might be after Labor Day, we are required to wear long sleeve button down, shirts. And I don't really think that in the summer they don't mind if we wear polos. It's hot. You're getting into a hot car and you're doing that, like with my job, you're doing that repeatedly. You're going to a place, you're getting out, going that place for a while, and you come out and then you drive again and you get in that freaking hot car. It doesn't matter if you roll the windows down, put the windshield or the sunshade up. It still gets pretty hot in there. So I'm just hoping that we're going to have like a mild summer. I hope.
I don't know. Like it was crazy because like we get into spring. There was a couple days where actually kind of chilly, and then on Wednesday here is 97. I was like, whoa! And then yesterday was nice. Looked like it was gonna rain. Didn't rain. Super sunny, nice today.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to rain all weekend here. Like it's so up and down. But like spring's kind of like bringing you the summer, bringing it back, bringing you the summer.
Yeah.
Although I will say we don't have as harsh winters as some places in the Northeast, Midwest, Colorado, and that. So I don't know. But you can never prepare for like. It's funny because whenever you're like talking to somebody like, yeah, man, the heat. They're like, oh, are you not from here? It's like, yeah, but I'm born and raised, but you never prepared for it. It doesn't.
It's something I guess you can kind of get used to, but you never get used to it where you're like, oh, it's 100 degrees outside. I think I'll go, I don't know, play outdoor basketball or something like that. Like I'm not going to go for a run or a bike ride when it's that hot. It's not safe for one.
It's not good. It's definitely like you can get sick.
So you're better off going when the sun starts to set.
Yeah.
Or in the morning, honestly. Yeah. And those can still be pretty
Those
nice.
Can be muggy. It'll get because I've gone at night. You probably have too. Where it's like 9 o'clock at night, and you're still sweating. Like it's muggy. Like it's not hot, but it's muggy.
It's that humidity, man.
Yeah.
It'll bite you in the butt.
Yeah. Although
Every
you
dang
can probably
time.
push through humidity compared to like just the heat and humidity. Especially at 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock times. Whew.
Yeah, that's when the sun's pretty much directly overhead.
Yeah.
And it's just, bearing down on you.
Although I'll never forget this half marathon I did with my sister. By the way, it's National Siblings Day. A couple of years ago in Denton, Aubrey. It started in Denton, and then we like get to Aubrey, which is right there on the line, and run back in. So it starts at like
Mhm.
around 8-ish, 9. It's a half, so it's 13.1 miles. It's all on the interstate, all interstate. So around like 9:30 or 10, um, like you can just the heat, the sun comes out. This is mid-July, and it's just super like it's just so hot. And I'm an idiot. I'm barely even doing anything with the watermarks, which are the little water stops. I should have done Gatorade and water, and I did. I was like, I don't need the Gatorade. It's gonna slow me. I'm gonna cramp. I did a little bit of water, but like towards the end, it felt like a mirage. Like I was like, this is freaking hot. Like, so I get to it, and we go to Luck, who I mentioned earlier, in Trinity Groves, and we have celebratory beers and whatever. I got so dehydrated. First of all, don't ever do that. Like you could have a beer after a race, don't indulge, and then have a bunch of like a pastrami sandwich and stuff. But I did not drink nearly enough water, and I thought, oh, it'll be fine, like just because it's morning. But it's still so hot in mid-July and on an interstate. I mean, that sun was so unforgiving. But I was like, afterwards, I was like, oh, I still feel good. And man, that night I was sick as a dog.
Yeah, man, it's brutal.
Yeah.
It is a brutal one out there, and that's why I tip my hat to the people that work outside
Oh yeah.
doing shingle work
Anyone
or
in
construction.
construction, roofing, landscape. I mean, anybody that has to.
You
It's
know,
it's not fun.
yeah. I mean, I like doing yard work. I like going outside and doing
Yeah.
things outside. Doing outdoor projects. Like today, I went on a nice bike ride. Of course, it was like 75 degrees, which is like
Yeah.
perfect.
Hold on to it while you can.
Yeah, and that's why
Do
I
you go
decided
to
to go out and enjoy the day. Honestly.
Do you go to Legacy out there in Arlington?
Yeah, I've been there. But this other place I found, I don't know if I talked about it, but a couple of weekends ago, Hillary and I went out walking, and we found this really cool. There is a park directly north of or not of our neighborhood, and it's called Dunlop. It's like called Dunlop Sports Complex, and they have like it looks like fields for like little league baseball and some soccer fields. So they
Yeah.
probably do like city sports there. And we walked. Our house is like here. We walked like down. Actually, we walked kind of like this, and it went up, and
Yeah.
then it keeps going up, and then the park's like right here, and there's like this little bike trail, hiking trail that kind of comes down here, and then we go down, and we keep going down, and we're
Yeah.
like back at our house. Like it kind of that trail leads to a neighborhood adjacent to our own in North Arlington, and we were able to kind of make like a 2 mile loop doing that. So that and I go on a bike ride doing that because some of it's sidewalk, but the
Yeah.
last part of it, like the about 2/3 of the way through the ride is like trails and stuff. I was
Yeah.
actually kind of busy when I was there today. There was kids out, on their bikes because there's like this outdoor BMX dirt bike
Yeah.
course. It's pretty cool, and there's a lot of kids there. So I was like, well, I feel a little weird being here, but I went ahead and just kept on going because I knew where I was going. But I know, and I think people should do the same. I think
Yeah.
people that are working from home and are stuck at home, and or even like myself, I'm able to go to work, but all I do is come back home. And I think it's good to go out and enjoy the weather while we can, because we all
Yeah.
know that here in even a
Fun.
month's time, it's not
Yeah.
going to be that great. So,
No. No. What kind of bike do you have?
my father-in-law actually gave it to me. It's a Schwinn hybrid bike, meaning
Yeah.
that it can be ridden off road and on the road.
That's such good cardio biking. Like
Yeah, and it
I
doesn't
don't
feel
really
like
think
it.
what I want to invest eventually get a good bike. But it is if
Me
you go
too.
out here in Dallas, White Rock Lake or Katy Trail, both
There's all
great.
kinds of places in Dallas to ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fort Worth too, actually. There's a lot
Yeah.
of places in Fort Worth. Um, I noticed that. I bet Austin has a lot of places to ride a bike.
Oh yeah. That's a huge like I think Austin's one of the top I mean I could
Bike
be
friendly.
but it is. There's a lot of people that obviously Portland. It's anything that has kind of hills and stuff. Not, I mean, Austin doesn't have too many. Well, if you get to the hill country, obviously,
Yeah,
but it is a big bike community.
right. Colorado's the same way.
Yeah. I
They
mean,
have a
it's
lot of
good.
bike places.
It's good exercise, but it's also something you can cruise around with. Just be smart. Sometimes you get these people that think they're like professionals out there and they're trying to outrun the cars or the trails. It's like, no.
Yeah.
But it is a good source of exercise.
Yeah.
Right
Easier
now,
on the joints.
yeah, I mean that is true. That is definitely true because like I love to run, but I mean man, a lot of
The shin splints can come upon you.
just the sidewalks and because I like doing a lot of long distance, so and running more within the city instead of just only going out to the lakes and stuff like that. It can wear on your joints, obviously your knees, and I have plantar tendonitis in both my ankles and feet. And when I could tell when the weather goes drastic from like warm, kind of warm to cold, because I can barely walk without taking ibuprofen or something, because like it feels like my ankles are on fire, like my kind of around my Achilles, and I
Yeah,
think that's just years of just running on pavement and
for
stuff
sure.
like that. It's probably stepping wrong, you know.
Yeah.
So biking's probably a lot more friendlier to your body.
Yeah, that's why a lot of older folks will ride bikes instead of
Yeah.
going for runs. And yeah, it's easier. And usually, there's other people that are into it too. So you usually get a group going. I would like to get into it more. My dad actually got this really cool bike. I think it's called like a Diamondback or something like that.
Yeah.
They're
I've heard of those.
they're pretty expensive. So I was like, oh, like that's a really cool looking bike. And it honestly, like the one that my dad got looks like the one, if I bought it for myself, it would look exactly like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, yeah, I wonder how much those are. And I looked it up and I was like,
Nope.
oh, no,
Unless if you're like a super serious biker, but even then, well, maybe yeah, if you were super serious biker or maybe a competitive biker, that probably.
yeah,
But it's good to have a bike. I mean, like you said, it can be an enjoyable
yeah. I
experience.
mean, I see some really cool sites, and I took a few photos of of that trail that I use in the some uh, put up some photos of that on like Instagram, and so people can kind
Yeah,
of see those and see what they look like. Uh, but it's nice to find something like that pretty close to home, and
yeah,
I think it's always great when cities implement something like that around in multiple parts too. It encourages people to kind of go out and do other things besides, I don't know, sitting at home or, you
yeah.
know,
It's nice to. I mean, you want to keep obviously your distance, but it's nice to break out your walls,
yeah,
uh, and enjoy, especially today. Enjoy this nice weather because Texas can flip a switch and it can be very hot, or it can be like storming and raining, which is miserable.
never know until it's actually happening.
Yeah,
Like
sometimes it comes
literally.
out of nowhere.
Oh yeah. There's been a time, I remember a long time ago, my dad and I were on there's a lake by Waco called Lake Whitney. And
Yeah,
we were down there for a family camping trip, which I remember was a good time, except that it was in the summer and we were camping in tents.
yeah,
But we had a window unit that we put the front of it in our tent and
yeah,
the part that releases all the hot air out the back,
yeah,
and it was great. But again, um, it actually, whenever those things run, they generate like a lot of condensation,
yeah.
and most systems drip outside or whatever. Well, this dripped all in our tent. So when we woke
Uh,
up, yeah, it was cool in there, but
but
we were
you're,
also wet
oh
from it
wow.
running all night. Anyway, I'm sorry. I kind of went off on there. Must be that major beer I just
That
had.
Imperial Stout
Yeah,
brings the
it's
old
it's packing
memories.
a wall up the wall.
Yeah,
The liver is down there trying to process it. It's like, dude,
yeah. I
this
was like,
is.
why is this coming to the party?
Yeah, I say, wow, this is. You haven't drank something like this in quite some time.
Yeah,
Anyway, so my dad and I were on this little boat that he actually made.
yeah,
We always called it the wee boat, like the small boat, the
yeah.
wee boat. It was green and white, had like this Johnson motor on the back of it. And I remember he and I were fishing Lake Whitney, and all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, you hear in the forecast scattered thunderstorms.
Yeah,
Texas is really good about creating these things. They
yeah,
will literally form right over you,
yeah,
and that's what happened to us. And when thunderstorms happen down here, there's a lot of the time the temperature drops quite a bit.
Yeah.
The rain and the wind are like intense, and you're just like, man, is it gonna like hail at any time? Is there circulation in the clouds? Like, is there gonna be a tornado?
Yeah.
And I remember he and I were just in that boat. I remember I was on the ground and my dad was behind it driving it like this, and we were just going woof, woof.
Man.
And then the rain was like pelting us in the face. It felt like I was in Saving Private Ryan, man.
Yeah.
It was
or
just like I was
up there rain came sideways, upside down, downside.
yeah, from the bottom. Right, it came from the bottom up.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, it was seriously like we were like about to run our boat onto the beach of Normandy and, you know, take on the Germans right then and there. It was crazy. But we made it back. That little boat took on some water, but I remember it was funny though, because I think my dad was a lot more afraid than I was, but I think it's because he understood more about what kind of situation we were in. But yeah, it was good times. Good times in what we call the wee boat. So did you finish your first?
I did.
Okay, I did too. You ready to move on to round two?
Yeah, we'll go to round two. So what's your second beer here?
That's what I'm excited about because I've already tried it earlier because I couldn't.
Yeah.
But this is also from Martin House. It's called Blackbird. It's an Imperial Blackberry Sour Ale. This one clocks in at about 9.2, so a little bit less.
It's hanging up there at the top.
Yeah, it's still getting up there, but here's what it looks like. Has a really cool kind of pink.
And just to let people know who are going to possibly listen to this and not see, it's got a reddish color to it, almost like a red ale. It almost looks closer to like a red ale, sort of a strawberry, I would say almost like a cranberry.
I'd almost say like Big Red.
Yeah.
For those of you that like to drink Big Red, it looks just like that. But man,
Ruby, yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, this beer,
Ruby Red. Yeah, it's a
dude, man.
Good.
I'm telling you, man. Like, why don't I take this pull?
I like how you're mixing one brewery into another brewery's cup.
I know.
Double dipping over here on an Oscar Blues cup over here. Which, by the way, the LL is really good. It's
a bummer though, because you know what? I do have Martin House glasses, I think.
Yeah.
But I think that the can glasses, so these are easier to kind of pour into.
We'll give a shout out to Oscar Blues though. Dale's Pale Ale actually was one of my very first craft beers, and still I think one of the best Scottish ales out there.
Yeah. So like this, like I said, this is a raspberry, pretty much in a raspberry ale.
Yeah.
And or not a raspberry, a blackberry. And man, you can taste them. It tastes fresh. They're a little tart, but then you also get that sour. Mm.
Yeah.
It's money, dude. Right, and it's a little bit tiny. There's a little bit of sweetness to it.
Yeah.
But
is the sour? So I'll be honest. Like I've never been a huge sour fan, but I think it's just because I've had a couple that are a little more overbearing. That's not overbearing? It's pretty smooth, subtle.
I think Martin House has really started to sort of master their art of making sours. They've been doing it for a while now. So the latest one that everyone's been talking about, Charlie, you've probably heard about people talking about this. The best made pickle beer that they made.
Oh yeah,
that's also a sour.
All on social media and that.
Best Made is a pickle company that's based here in Texas. So there's the local aspect of pickles with beer. I do like pickles and I do like beer. That pickle beer, if you like pickle, like if you like the taste of pickles, and you can, if you're one of those people that likes to drink some pickle juice out of the jar, then you'll probably like it because it's very pickle forward.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I thought it was refreshing, but it's not like something that I could drink 2-3 of. Like it's one of those one and done kind of deals.
Enjoy the experience. Thank you.
But man, this right here is it's crisp, sour. The blackberries taste fresh, you know, like you can, man, I'm telling you. It's money, dude. It's freaking money. and it's $10 for a 4-pack, and it was worth it. It's honestly worth it. So I did get 2 4-packs of these.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I really wanted to try their pina colada,
Yeah.
but they were sold out. But I
Well,
really like the artwork of that one.
Maybe try to get them on the podcast sometime.
I would love to. They have a, for those of you who don't know, off of Sylvania Avenue, just north of 30 in like East Fort Worth is where they're at. Right now they're open every day from 12 to 7. So you can, and it's beer to go only. So you'll have some nice ladies there waiting to take care of you when you walk in. 24 cans is what you can buy. If you buy 12-ounce cans, you can buy 24 and that's it. So that's honestly quite a bit.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, definitely go by Martin House. They're always bringing out new things, trying new things. They're one of my favorite breweries in DFW. I mean, they're probably my favorite one. And it's just because of what I like to drink, and it's like, they do make IPAs, the Toadies box slider. We've talked about that on the show. Yeah. They've done some stuff with the Toadies. The Toadies have come out and performed for them. Really cool relationship they have. It's just a really cool brewery, and everybody that I talked to that works there, all really nice, down-to-earth people. They're always trying to find something new to do. But this is something, like I said, like they got their sour down pretty good, and I think now they're just trying different flavors with the sours. But, yeah, this is a Blackbird. You can kind of see the Blackbird right here, and then you can see the blackberries around
it. Artwork is really good on the can.
So these cans today actually kind of, I guess you could say they kind of inspired me, and this is what I mean. I'm going to start like collecting local brewery cans.
Yeah.
Kind of like this. I'm going to put them in like this wooden case.
Yeah.
That like I could like hang on the wall or something like that. I thought that would be kind of cool.
I like trophies.
Yeah, kind of like trophies.
Beer trophies.
And it's like, local. I want to do, my goal is local. And I don't mean like Breckenridge Brewery kind of local. I mean like Texas local.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll do something with other ones. But the artwork on them makes them so, like like aesthetically pleasing to look at. And like Steam Theory, they got cool art. My friend's brewery, it's in Celestial Beer Works.
Celestial, yeah.
My friend Molly does the artwork for that. Actually, it's she is my friend, but I know her through Hillary. They went to both went to University of Dallas, and Matt's the guy that he's the brewmaster, I believe, at that brewery. But they've expressed interest in being on the show. Yeah, by the way, so we gotta try to do that. I know they have. They have kids, so it might be kind of hard right now. But, when things calm down, and I'm excited because, okay, look, go off on the kind of a side rant real quick. As bad as this sucks right now, I really think that once this is lifted and everybody can go out, these restaurants are going to be free.
Oh, it's going to boom.
And it's like that, man. And they're going to need the help and everything. So, but yeah, I mean, we keep touching on it. It's really hurting people. So like, if you're able to like local, like we've done local food here where we can, I mean, do it, especially ones that you really like and you really, cherish. Because those people are hurting right now. But I really think the Go Odors are really helping them out.
Oh, I do too.
They're because like, but they have a pretty good customer base. Their customers will take care of them for sure.
Oh yeah.
There's this place by one of my stores, one of my accounts. The guy was like, I ordered online food and I went to the drive-thru. It was like this Italian place. And he's like, how are things going with you? And I'm like, me? Like, don't worry about me, dude. Like, you're the one in the food industry. Like, how's that going? He's like, it's been okay. So I was like, okay, that's good. Well, I'm here to help you out. And, but it's like, I mean, I think, bars and restaurants, obviously bars that don't serve anything but alcohol.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah. It's really hard, man. I mean, like at least Steam Theory, they can sell beer to go and they have their pizza that you can, the food to go that you can get. But man, the ones that just sell, alcohol, man, that's brutal. Anyway, we've talked about that many times. But yeah, the Blackbird by Martin House, it's very good. It is It's 9%, but like you can't. Sour covers that alcoholic taste. This one, they didn't try to hide it. It was there. It's there, and it was there in spades.
It was ready.
Yeah, it was. Talk about blast off, man. Oh man, it's still weighing my liver down. I can feel it. But yeah, definitely try Martin House's Blackbird Imperial Blackberry Sour Ale. It's great. It's refreshing, and I just love sour, so that's why. And we want to do this more for sure.
Yeah.
Charlie, do you have another one you want to share?
Yeah. Well, it's another one from Steam Theory. It is the Hopped Against Humanity. It's their IPA. I love this can artwork. It's like the hop is a monster.
Yeah.
So that is really cool. It is 7.3%. This is actually, I believe, their second beer to be released immediately right after the Singularity.
Right. For those of you that can't see it, the hops monster Charlie was describing pretty much looks like the Thing.
Yeah, it does. It looks like the Thing from the movie, that if you've ever seen the Thing with Kurt Russell. It is cool. I love the artwork on here. Another guy with goggles. It's got like a steampunk, which I think is really cool.
Can you like put up to the camera, kind of slowly rotate it like it is so people can see it? Oh yeah, like yeah. Hey, I wonder if that's related. The goggles guy. Is that Hops Monster wearing a hat?
It's kind of like he's been on a couple of promotional items.
So is that alien Hop Monster wearing a hat of some kind? Or is that the hop?
No, it's kind of like almost like a Venus flytrap, kind of like Little Shop of Horrors is kind of open.
Oh, okay.
So I think that is really cool. I mean, the can art that they've produced for both Singularity and Hops, really, really cool. I mean, if you want to see a closer look, definitely go on their Instagram or social media, Steam Theory Brewing Company. Once again, located here in Dallas and Trinity Groves.
Yeah.
Really like this. What's good about their IPAs are West Coast IPA. We've talked about this before on the podcast. They're going to be, hoppy but smoother, a little more crisp. Not the hops aren't overbearing. That's kind of a thing that gets some people who aren't really IPA fans. That's kind of their big, like, I guess, conflict is, it's too hoppy. West Coast IPAs, and Sierra Nevada does a good job with this as well, are not overbearing with their hops. Hops Against Humanity is not overbearing at all. It's a great IPA. It's one of my go-tos outside of their Kama Sutra, which you can only get it at the restaurant there. They don't have it in a can yet, but you can get a crowler. But I mean, this is a really good. I can drink 2 of these.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the percentage on that again?
7.3. So probably shouldn't drink 3, but it's a good follow-up after the Singularity too. That's kind of what I like to do. I don't know if you're like that, Matt. Is start lighter, like just making sure the tastes don't clash. Like I usually will start with a blonde or Pilsner, or a pale ale, like a more pale ale. Like for them they have before they have things that make you go. I'll do that, and then I'll get into the IPA. Sometimes I'll start with IPA, but I'll just stick in that area.
Right.
But I just feel with the taste. But a lot of their beers just transition very well. So.
Right. Yeah, that light to dark kind of method for beer tasting really is pretty much also the same for wine. Like you'd want to start off with a white and then go darker, go all the way down to like cab or what have you, port even, if you want to go down that way. So I don't know if people know this, but like I think I would talk to you about it, Charlie. I was supposed to have a wine test. It's like a certification exam.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were telling me about it.
Yeah, it's called a WSET 2. And I was supposed to take it, but obviously with COVID out, my company's trying to limit gatherings of people, obviously like everybody else. Yeah. So they decided to cancel it until like September. So I'm going to have even more time to study, but it's been really cool. I'll have to kind of talk about that a little bit more. But I've been learning some really cool stuff about wine, and I'm just in the very beginning. So that's right. It's talking about describing wine whenever you drink it. That to me, that's the hardest part. It's really, even with beer, like I just always focus on the same thing pretty much. Yeah. And it's just really hard. There's really talented cicerones and sommeliers out there that, and there's even an equivalent of that to coffee, believe it or not. There's someone, and I forgot what they're called, but there's people out there that can smell coffee and be like, oh, that's an Arabic bean from like Ethiopia.
Yeah.
and they'll know exactly where it's from. And it's crazy, but yeah. Um, I do like when we're able to kind of talk about local beers on the show and show
Oh
people.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Just,
there's so many great breweries here, so many up and coming, and the thing is, they're all a great community together. It's not really competition. They all bring their own style, uh, and this is throughout actually DFW. I mean, in any state, like Austin has great. We've mentioned Houston. I
yeah,
haven't had anything really from San Antonio, but the Hill Country area obviously has really good breweries, and there's some that we don't really get here. So if you're traveling, I always say this: when you're traveling, don't go to a place. This is just my opinion. Don't go to a place that you are like a chill. Nothing against Chili's. Uh, find the local restaurants, and especially breweries. Like that's one thing I think is fun is going seeing a local live music venue and a local brewery, having the local beer there, because it's there's some that aren't in mass distribution, like you mentioned Breckenridge, and I said Sierra Nevada that we get that are from the
New
west.
Belgium, Ballast Point,
New Belgium, or even I mean, there's tons, obviously, Oscar Blues, all that, but we don't get, and so that is a good time to go support them. And man, you'll be surprised. There's a lot of good hidden gems out there. So
Tony.
definitely check them out. But I mean, it's a growing scene here in DFW, and it's a good time to have a craft beer podcast because there's more coming up. Westlake Brewery, shout out to them at Deepbone. They have a lot of great stuff there as well. Oak Cliff Brewing, I love their Hefeweizen. Um,
Cliff,
and
huh?
then Three Nations is really good. I really like Three Nations. They have a nice blood orange IPA over there. They have a good Hefeweizen too, and I believe they just opened up a new facility near downtown Carrollton. Nine Band and Allen is really good. They have a good honey blonde that is really good. Tups, which I had last week, the American Light Ale, the national standard, that was really good. And they
That's
have a good
from they were McKinney, right?
yeah, they're in McKinney.
Kind of like Franconia, then.
Yeah, I've had a lot of. I had Franconia on this. Their Kolsch is really good. Yeah, there's so many. I mean, like you mentioned, Martin House. I mean, in Arlington, right where you are, you have Division, which has a good hazy IPA there. Um,
Legal Draft.
Legal Draft is good. They're legal. They're blonde. I really like their lager. The Accused is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Division Street's. I think, in my opinion, I like Division Street's style a bit more.
Yeah.
But I haven't been to either one in a while.
Yeah.
But, of course, they were opening these microbreweries and whatnot after we were in and out of
After we
college.
left UTA, after college, all these.
We would just drink at Jagos or Old School.
Or Old School. Old School is where we got our craft beer fix. When we really didn't know what craft beer was completely. It's just like, oh, this is not, this is good beer. It's not just domestic, which, nothing against that, but it's different.
They had a lot of cool stuff. They had like Alaskan White on tap, and they had.
That was like, I think one of Dill's Pale Ale. I mean, they had them all. They had stuff from Breckenridge. They had Dogfish. I mean, they had like so many.
Oh yeah, and they would rotate them.
And they still do. They really. I've been there a couple times since, and they've added more, and they had a good rotation. But now it's like, boom, and then you go to the Tipsy Oak there. In Arlington.
I've been there once, I think. Yeah, it's a cool place.
It's kind of like Truck Yard a little bit style, like here in Dallas. And
shoot, that's an idea. Maybe I can get some food from them. Actually, you should do. You should try out. Whenever this is all over, maybe we can find a way to get some Hurtado barbecue out your way. Have you heard of Hurtado?
Is it new, or it's been around, or has it been around and I just don't know?
Man, it's gonna make you want to slap your mama. It's so good. So here's the deal. The guy's name is Brandon Hurtado. I would like to actually have him on the show. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
His family's from, I believe, Mexico City.
Oh no.
And I think he describes it a bit on his website for Hurtado Barbecue, but it's a really cool place in Arlington. They actually just opened up their brick and mortar back in, I think, maybe mid-February. somewhere around there. Yeah, because I remember it being like, oh, it might be cold. But it's a Mexican, kind of like Mexican inspired barbecue, and they
Oh,
have things like quail, bacon burn-ins, beef burn-ins, chicken, turkey. They make their own sausage. They have a lot of good stuff. They have this hatch chili mac and cheese that is off the it's off the chain, dude.
yeah.
So good. And yeah, so when this is over, maybe I could find a way to like
That would be good.
we
I
can
I
get some,
love barbecue. I
dude.
love barbecue.
Especially, honestly, like you can eat barbecue. It can be like all, you could even do like be paleo with it. It's low carb, high protein. Just go
There's a
all
lot, and
out,
a
dude.
lot do. You can do smoked turkey.
Right, and
Lakewood
it's good.
Smokehouse here in Dallas. They do a really good. They actually have gluten-free sauces and seasonings, and I'm just throwing that out there in case.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
they're at turkey, which I love brisket. I don't eat a lot of red meat, but I love brisket. But their kind of turkey,
Mm.
their smoked turkey, so good, and their mac and cheese is really good too. I love mac and cheese.
Yeah, and I'm telling you that hatch chili mac and cheese is awesome. So I'm going to try something. I'm going to share a screen and
We
see
may
if
have to
it's
do like a podcast where we try some of our local business food.
yeah.
And oh, this looks awesome. Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, so this is
Dang, that is so so this is right by you or
yeah.
closer.
This is so if you look right here, it's Front Street, 205 East Front
Oh
Street in
yeah.
Arlington. And I'm just going to kind of show people what they have. Prime beef ribs by the pound, brisket,
Do
pork.
they deliver to Dallas?
Probably not.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
It's
green chili, pulled pork, smoked
oh
turkey,
man.
quail, house sausage, which they change. It can be something different each time. Whole brisket, you can buy an entire one for $120.
Oh my god.
Then they have brisket sandwiches, or they even have barbacoa. And I really want to try their elotes, which is corn.
Yeah.
But they have smoked elotes, brisket elotes. There's that hatch chili mac and cheese. The spiced charro beans are really good.
Yeah.
And they even have like dessert too that they make. But it's a really cool place that this guy just started. And I encourage people that live in and around Arlington or are willing to drive to pick it up.
Yeah.
Definitely give it a try because it's awesome. Like it's I like Mexican food and I like obviously like barbecue, but they kind of put it together and make this really cool cuisine and it's like it's top-notch barbecue. And Arlington doesn't really have much of a barbecue place.
You have Rudy's out there, which is really good. But it's
Well, I
kind of
mean
like
that's a chain though.
yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, that's kind of like yeah, you have
Mhm.
chains. I mean, there's
Yeah,
Bodacious across from AT&T Stadium where the
yeah.
Cowboys. Um,
I know
but
there's some
yeah, there's not
smaller
like a
ones
lot of like local barbecue.
like
It's more
popular, like
yeah, and that's kind of how it
yeah.
is here in Dallas, minus Pecan Lodge, which I still haven't been to, but it's like Franklin's and Austin, 2 hour wait.
What's
Uh,
that? What's that barbecue place that's in Dallas, up like pretty close to 75? Is it called like Solomons or something like that?
well, there used to be Red Hot and Blue. That's gone now.
I'll look it
Now
up.
it's something else. There is Soul Men's though, but that's like a rock wall. But there may be another one too. But that's a chain as well.
Is that?
Um,
I think it's pretty close to that. I used to have to
You're
work at
talking
that
right
Total
across
One.
North Central Expressway by Total Wine. So it used to be Red Hot and Blue. It's Memphis style, but now it's something else. It's another barbecue place, which I haven't been to, which I love.
Yeah,
I'm a Texan, but I love Memphis style barbecue too because I like the sauce. I like Texas barbecue sauce, but Memphis sauce is a little sweeter.
yeah,
My brother-in-law's from Memphis, so at their wedding they had Memphis style barbecue and Tex-Mex. I was like, all right, this is awesome.
yeah. You know what? I think it was Backcountry Barbecue that I've been
Oh no,
to.
yeah, that's off of Greenville right there. That's still here, I think. Yeah, I think. Um, I
Yeah.
really don't. I love barbecue, but I don't go often as much as I used to. Like,
Um,
I want to go to Pecan. I used to go to Lakewood Smokehouse. Really good.
Yeah.
But I love, barbecue. Oh, Bab barbecue, which you went for our 30th. That was more Memphis style out there in Trinity Grove, but I was really good on the barbecue there.
Yeah, that's good.
Blues music.
Yeah. Did you ever go to like what's that place called? Um, when we used to drive up for like Wooden and Convention, there's this place in
Oh,
Memphis called Corky's.
oh yeah, Corky's is huge. That
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
big,
man.
but it's huge. That is
Is that in
a really
Memphis
good
or
bar.
Nashville?
Memphis.
That's right.
Right
Okay.
out in Memphis. Well, once again, like my brother-in-law, he's from there, and that's a landmark. Corky's.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah,
it's
man.
good. It's
Heck
good. And there's
yeah.
a place in Nashville too that's really good. That has really good barbecue. I mean, I think when you look at like states that have great barbecue, obviously Texas, Tennessee, and then apparently Kansas City has really good barbecue.
Yeah, Kansas City, Carolina barbecue. Is
Carolina.
this?
Oh yeah, you don't. Right. So my uncle lives in North Carolina. I
Mm,
don't know that we ever really did barbecue, but I
yeah.
don't think there was anything that was close by.
Well, I think they mean like South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina. Okay, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, because he's up there.
Because I have family in a Goldsboro, which is like
Yeah,
I want to say it's east of Raleigh.
yeah.
I have family over there, and yeah, it's not really too big, but I think like southern, like if you want to go to where, if those of you who've seen House of Cards, where
Yeah.
Frank Underwood's from, and his love for
Oh yeah.
ribs, it
He
probably,
liked he liked the
yeah,
barbecue.
Freddie.
Freddy's
Yeah,
ribs. I got the
yeah.
ribs. Oh, I love those ribs. That's
Yeah, and even when he's eating those ribs, I'm like, dang man, I kind of want ribs.
I want them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, I feel like we're morphing into another show. We could do like a vlog
I mean we
barbecue
could.
vlog.
There's again like with local restaurants,
We could
there's a
do beer and barbecue. Boom.
yeah, like I don't know if you've ever been, but you should try out Heim in Fort Worth.
What is it called again?
It's called Heim, Heim, Heim.
Huh.
I think it's a German last name, but I think the guy's name is Travis, and his wife. They started out as like a food truck type deal, and then
Oh,
they got a brick and mortar place off of I believe it's Magnolia in Fort Worth, and then they opened up another place I think in White Settlement, which is also in
oh,
Fort
nice.
Worth, which is, I
Yeah,
think,
right out there by Tyler. Well, Tyler, or yeah, no, I'm sorry, Fort Worth. I'm thinking White House in Tyler. Sorry, White Settlement's out here, Fort Worth.
yeah.
Yeah, no, dude. I think we're on fire, but we could definitely do like a barbecue vlog, like, and some beer, or just do the barbecue because there are hidden gems like barbecue
Oh
spots.
yeah, I'm sure
So
people would
good.
like to know about them. Like Hurtado's doing pretty good getting their name out. They've been getting more and more popular, and now they have it set up to right now you can get some items delivered from them, and super nice people. It's great food, and Brandon's a super nice guy. In
Yeah.
fact, he's so nice that while you're waiting in line for his barbecue, he puts out a cooler full of free beer for you to drink.
Well, that is a very noble
Pretty cool.
thing.
And like I think last time I think it was Modelo, maybe.
That will be
Um,
our first vlog episode. We'll reach out to him, man, and go.
yeah, he seems like a pretty genuine kind of guy, and yeah, we've been there a couple of times now, and but I'm thinking about actually putting an order in here pretty quick for tomorrow. Hillary and I are trying our best to support
Oh yeah,
local people where we can.
yeah.
And my boss even asked, like, "Hey, man, like, what kind of what gift card do you want to support a local business?" And I was like, I couldn't really think of anything in Arlington. I was like, oh, it's a really good Mexican place in North Fort Worth near the Stockyards called Joe T. Garcia's, which has been there
Oh
for
yeah,
a long time.
yeah.
And you
Been
can
there
get
forever.
margaritas to go. And I was like, let's just do that. So that's where I spent my 21st birthday, though. And man,
Joe T. Garcia. I mean, it's good. It's
I got
good.
so hammered there, dude.
Yeah.
It was
Everything that
those.
happens. You're
They
20.
make their margaritas. At least back then, they made them with Everclear. And then I had this shot. So my friend's cousin got me this shot that was filled up in a regular glass like this to about like right here. Apparently, it was a bunch of different liquors in there, and it was like I said, it was about 3/4 of the way full, and it was called a gorilla fart. I downed it. I drank it because I'm stupid. And
You're
man,
21.
But and you know, 21, honestly, like I felt bad for like maybe half the day the next day and I was fine. Now that would last
Yeah,
all week.
now you have to take sick time. Like
Yeah, and
my
it takes a
21st,
PTO.
I was at this sushi place at North Park called Kona Grill. It's still there. And like it was kind of a combination of sort of getting drunk, but also just everything I ate, like sushi, like a hot fudge brownie, and alcohol. None of that is a good like mix. And I
Yeah,
remember I
it's not
had
for
a
me either,
sake
man.
bomb. This is how I first time I ever had a sake bomb. You've had a sake bomb, right? So you take the sake shot, like a little shot of sake, and
Don't
you
they put
drop
it
it
on
in the
like
beer.
those little bamboo things and then they hit the
Well,
table and it
this they
knocks
just
in?
did. They give you the little kind of little cup with sake. You're supposed to drop it almost like an Irish car bomb. You drop it in the beer, which was Kyrian, which is a great beer, uh,
Yeah.
and then you drink it. I took a shot and drank the beer, which
So
obviously
you
isn't
did it wrong?
bad, but
So you did it wrong?
I
Is what
did
you're
it
telling
wrong.
me.
I mean,
You used the
first
beer as a
started
chaser, is
off
what you're saying.
good to go. And then I think people gave me like I had like this hurricane kind of thing. Yeah.
People are
And the
probably like,
bartender's like, okay,
people are like,
oh,
what
whatever.
the hell is this guy doing? Has he never done
He's
this?
starting 21. Great. Cut this guy off. And then I think I
Like,
had a
whew.
couple like
Yeah, put him to
hurricanes.
sleep.
Yeah, I had a couple hurricanes that might have had a shot, but then on top of that, I had sushi and then a brown, and I was like, oh, and I was throwing up in the bathroom. Sorry.
Oh,
My buddy Jack, if he ever listens to it, he remembers because him and his fiance and wife, uh, Becca, came at the and, and then they went to check on me and they're like, "Get your guy." But yeah, so 21st, a little rocky, but you know,
dude.
21. And yes, the
Yeah,
next day I was just curl up. I was at community college. I curl up in a fetal position, like what? But you're right. Like back then, you could go eat something greasy or whatever, and
yeah,
like you'd be good. Now
that
I'm
was
like 4 days
2009.
later still feeling it. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Like after we did this. I did an episode after the 30th birthday. And I was like, oh my. And sometimes you know what? You probably know. It's like it doesn't hit you the day of. Sometimes you'll wake up and you're like, what the heck? Like you'll
Hmm.
feel good. You won't even feel like even drunk. Just saying. And the next day it hits you. You're like,
That's how it goes, man.
yeah.
That's the problem with me too, is that I don't feel like immediate garbage until it all hits me like at 2 o'clock in the morning or something, you know?
Yeah, you're just like, well, because you forget to eat again. That is a key. Like I feel like I force myself to eat when I come up, and sometimes you don't even try to get drunk. It's just obviously we're craft beer guys, or maybe you're drinking wine. It just happens. You get that
Right.
buzz, but even if you have
Yeah.
that buzz, your body still doesn't react the next day well. And it's like for me too. It's like my stomach just gets really irritated. So I'm like, I gotta eat bread or chips or something, and then drink like here right now 20 ounce of my Batman little tumbler, but like 20 ounce of water. Because if you don't do that and you go to bed, first of all, you get the ship rocking, like, and then even if you don't do that, you'll wake up, you feel like, what happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It
I'm one of those
sucks.
wheezy, nauseous person. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah. It's not, it's
it's
not,
not fun.
it's not
And,
fun.
and
I
even
mean,
Gatorade or Pedialyte does not help still. I remember you brought
right.
me Pedialyte the next day, and
Oh yeah,
it,
that's right.
it's still, it's just like, it took like,
Well, I think at that point, so the problem with hangovers is that it's really hard to cure them once you have them because like the damage has been done.
it's been done.
Like
It
that's your
can't
body's way of
sure.
saying you didn't drink enough water, you just drink alcohol, and I'm going to punish you for it.
Yeah.
So the best way to do that, and I'm telling you, man, this stuff is awesome. Hillary actually discovered it. I think a coworker told her about it, but it's stuff called liquid IV, and you put it into like 8 ounces of water, and it pretty much makes that 8 ounces become like 24 ounces.
Yeah.
Um, it's like potassium, it's salt. You know, I think it's a little bit of sugar, and it's all
Because you're
in.
dehydrated.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
it's basically like what's in saline, but you're drinking it.
Yeah.
And if you just drink that like throughout the night, like just one glass of it throughout the night, you'll wake up and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And we use that in the Bahamas because man, like, dude, We
You're
flew into the
drinking.
Bahamas on Saturday or something like that, and the
Bahamas.
first full day there was Sunday. Man, I drink a
We're
lot.
rocking it.
Just talking to people from where was it? Chicago. We were talking about football, and we were talking about baseball,
Yeah.
and out there getting burned to a crisp by the equatorial sun, basically,
Yeah.
and just drinking
Yeah. I
nonstop.
mean,
Because
you're on vacation, but
yeah,
your body still is like,
yeah,
yeah.
it's true. We were on vacation. We were drinking their local beer. Let's see if I can
What was a
remember.
good one that you had there? I don't think we talked about the local beer.
Maybe I'll show it on the thing here, on my computer. Um, it's a colic. Yes. So I think it's called. I think that's how you pronounce it. Colic. Here, I'll show you. Uh, Here's some images
By
for
the
it.
way, this is good Zoom. I want to tell my dad about Zoom because he's a teacher and he's like, how can I bring up like a website or a video? Have you tried
There you
playing
go,
a
right there.
video yet on Zoom? I know on Skype it can be a little.
What do you mean?
That looks well like you playing a video while we're on, like, because like he
I'm
does visual
sure.
class.
I'm sure. Like I could pull up a YouTube video right here
Yeah,
and
well, because
show
this
it.
is like Zoom, but like Skype. Like he's
Yeah.
had issues with that. I'm like, it could be choppy on there, but this is so new.
Hmm.
It is. Excuse me. It looks good.
Yeah. This one right here in the middle
Yeah.
is what was free to drink. So they have
Oh.
a light, they have a lime, they have a gold,
It
they have the
looks like
Rattler.
Corona and Bud Light decided to join forces.
Yeah.
And Natty Light. This beer right
Right.
here looks like Natty Light. By the way, if you're listening in and not watching, there's this beer that kind of has the Natty Light like logo, sort of. Not logo, like this company's gonna come after me. But I mean, it does have the kind of artwork, and it says Kalik Light. And this other one over here
Kalik.
has the Bud Light Lime thing going on.
It could be
Uh,
Kalik. That sounds better, actually. Kalik. That's probably right.
no, the name sounds awesome, but
Us calling it
the
colic.
logos here, just to give you a visual repetition if you're not watching
Yeah, right.
the video, is like they took a couple of popular brands and mixed it. I'm sure it's great, and they're probably like, if we hear this dude's not coming over here.
Well,
Coming to hang and drink our beer. But one is 7%, your Kalik Gold. I mean, this other one, that's 2%. They made a 2%.
yeah, that Rattler right there. Yeah, that's two.
That's crazy.
The light is 4.5%, and the
I'm
Kalik
not going.
lime
Our
is
buddy Jay
4.
and I, you weren't. I don't think you were there. It was our retreat. We went to a camping retreat in Oklahoma, and we bought Bush beer, and
Yeah,
obviously the content goes down there. I don't know
right.
why, but we went through a 12 pack, and we're like, this is crazy. We're drinking
Yeah,
like water, so it's like 3% or something like that.
yeah. Well, I mean, so that Kalik beer that they have there, I'll be honest, it's like, it's honestly, it's not that great, but it was free, so we drank it anyway.
Hey, free.
And when you're on the beach in the Bahamas, at least where we're at, they basically were like, hey, if you buy this coconut for like $15, you can get a refill for free for the rest of the day. And we were like, oh, okay. So I was drinking Kalik and various mixed drinks like Mambo Taxis and
Oh
whatnot, and the coconut, whatever. And this is where, I don't know if I talked about this on the show. I probably did. That was around the time where I got solicited for drugs, or actually, if I wanted to buy some drugs.
in the Bahamas.
Out of 2, 4, 6, out of 8 people, I was the one that got asked twice on 2 separate occasions if I wanted to buy drugs from somebody. And to kind of rehash the story quickly, I was walking back toward the beach, and this guy pulls me aside, this Bahamian dude. He's like, hey man, do you want a taste? And I was like, a taste? I'm thinking like there's been like, it's open bar on the beach. I was like, sure. Like, what do you got? And so we're walking, and I noticed that this isn't what I think it is. And I asked him, I was like, so what are
You're
we
in a Breaking
tasting?
Bad movie.
Yeah, basically. And he was like,
He's like, this is Heisenberg I'm talking.
he was like, I was like, what are you talking about wanting to taste? What are we tasting here? And he's like, blow, cocaine. And I'm like, no, dude. Like, in America, that's illegal. And I don't want to go home. Like, I don't want to go back to my wife all strung out. I'm like, no, dude. And he's like, what about weed? And I was like, no, man, again, that's also illegal. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm over here on a
Yeah,
passport, man.
beer, whiskey,
I'll take some beer if you have it. Like,
ice cream that you created.
yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe some seafood.
Yeah.
But, like, and then so everybody called me from that point on that trip. They called me Pablo, as in Pablo Escobar, for the remainder of the trip. And they still call me that to this day,
There
because
you go.
for some reason I got solicited to basically if
Yeah.
I could buy some drugs. So cool country though, Bahamas.
Yeah.
Really, really,
Definitely would love
really
to go down
beautiful.
there.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Were you on a cruise, right?
no, we actually
Or no, you
flew.
just went to a resort. That's right.
Yeah, we flew. It was a direct flight from Dallas to Nassau,
Hmm.
and we went to an adults only um, resort on this island called Paradise Island, which is just north of,
Yeah.
I think it's called New Providence, is the name of the island that has Nassau. The
Yeah.
Bahamas is a bunch of islands, but
Yeah.
we were on Nassau Island, which is basically shaped more or less like this. And then a little sliver right above it is where Paradise Island is, and um, that's where our resort was. So like, if I can, let's see here. Um, Maybe I can show people what it looked like. Now that we have this ability, like I can show people stuff. It's awesome, and it kind of makes me sad because it's making me. It's like I'm going back, but you can kind of see it here. Um, it doesn't.
Nice.
It doesn't really show you much yet, but there's the pool. Like I literally was right here in this pool,
Oh,
and
dive into that.
there's a boardwalk. There's a restaurant back here. Just like that. Yeah, I pretty much sat pretty close to there. Um, and yeah, it's adults only, so there aren't any kids. The kids, I think, go to what's that place called? Atlantis. It's massive. It has a
Oh
casino in it.
yeah, I've seen that. I've seen commercials.
Yeah, that place is huge, really cool. But even the general public can go there and kind of check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where we were, and it's a really nice place. We were only there for a couple of full days, but man, like it's great. They have their own pool. Their rooms look really nice, like that. And they have common areas. They had karaoke, and people
Really?
found yeah, and then people found out we're from Texas, and they were like, "Hey, you guys want to sing some country?" And we had people asking us all kinds of questions. And yeah, they have a lot of really cool things. They have several different restaurants actually in there, and then they have like this general like kind of buffet style, which they have a lot of different things. Like they pretty much have like just about everything for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Whenever you
I
go
mean,
in there, it's like,
it's paradise, man.
yeah, it was paradise. It was awesome. Yeah, it was good. We spent some time on the beach, but not a whole lot actually. Um, but anyway, yeah, if
Yeah.
anybody's wanting to go to the Bahamas,
Check that place out.
obviously now probably not the
And
best time,
but
but
eventually, hopefully, that is
mhm.
the positive mindset that event we will be back. We will get through this.
Yeah. So what else has been going on?
Not too much. I mean, I think just trying to find things to do. Cooking a lot. Been cooking a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, reading. Actually, reading a really good book, Rise of the Robots by Martin Ford. Came out in 2017, which is about automation and jobs. Before all, this. Binge watching Ozark's great. I'm on season 3, halfway through it.
Okay.
Apparently, Tiger King's about to throw out another episode. If you haven't seen Tiger King, it's very entertaining. I mean, it's a true story documentary. It's gone
Yeah.
viral. So
Right.
yeah, just trying to watch a lot of movies, work out. You went for a bike, I went for a run. So yeah, just trying to stay active, stay positive. It's good
Right.
we're doing this podcast. I think it's good to have outlets. So much. Not to get on a soapbox, but so much. Negativity obviously with what's going on.
Yeah.
Which is, so just trying to escape from that. So,
Yeah, for
you man,
sure.
I mean, other than the Peter going out the other day, I mean, what are you like? What are you binge watching anything? Because you're a big TV guy. Like,
Well, yeah, I guess you could sort of like, I've been watching the same. I've been watching Ozark. I'm
yeah,
also in season 3. I think I'm actually about to finish the season.
yeah.
For those of
It's a
you
good.
who,
It's not bad. It's a good season. I mean, Ruth. Who's your favorite character? Like, I love Ruth. She is as real and unfiltered as it gets.
she, we talked about this last weekend,
Yeah,
actually. Yeah, Ruth is my favorite character too. Um, she just does such a good job. The actress is from New York, so she had to kind of learn
yeah.
to
She's
talk
from the
like that.
Bronx, actually.
Yeah, so she's had to like kind of learn how to talk like that. But
Yeah,
um, I really like season 3.
yeah.
The introduction of Wendy's brother Sam, or not
I like
Sam.
Sam. Actually,
I'm
Sam.
sorry, Ben.
No, Ben. Yeah, Ben's great. He's entertaining too. He's a little off the hinges,
Yeah, for sure.
but I think he brings, in a weird way, some sanity to the thing,
Right.
to the birds, because it focuses a lot on Wendy this season.
Yeah, it
And
does.
before I watched it, somebody else watched it and posted that on Twitter. It focuses a lot, which is fine. Like, Wendy is a great character too. But Ben bringing in, I'm assuming the little brother, he's the younger brother. He's just so like out there, and he loves Ruth. But he kind of brings, it's weird because he's not a sane character, but he brings some sanity and some like ability to this family.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. That's the way I saw it actually too. Is that Ben is, he's Wendy's brother. He has bipolar disorder,
Yeah,
and he's the one that sees the situation that Wendy and Marty are in as something that is insane, but they're
yeah,
trying to perceive it as normal. So that
yeah,
just goes to show you like how far these two people have gotten into
yeah,
it. And then Helen Pierce has become more prominent in this
yeah.
season. She was kind of sprinkled in her before, but now like it's almost like her and Wendy are primarily handling everything, and Marty's just
They're
kind of
partners.
handling.
They're really partners.
But
Spoiler alert,
yeah,
but they're partners.
hmm yeah. So
And
it's been interesting to see how it's been evolving. Um, but yeah, it's becoming more focused on Wendy in this season, I think, than in previous.
it's good. And you mentioned Lego Masters this
Yeah,
week. We dropped the Star Wars episode, which is
cool.
great. Seeing C-3PO and RTG2. That show is awesome. I hope there's a second season, just because
I'm sure there will be.
working at a museum where we had the Art of the Brick Lego exhibit and just seeing the structure of that. And now this Lego competition is super cool, and they got to reenact all or recreate a lot of the Star Wars scenes with Legos, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Uh, so it's a good show.
yeah, it's a great show, and I kind of figured that Mark and Boone would take the win on the Star Wars one because those guys are. That's like that's exactly what the kind of theme that they would probably pick themselves. But
Yeah,
I think that all the teams came up with something really cool in that episode. They were tasked to make droids and everything, and then a second I think challenge was to make a scene of battle. So there was like the attack on Hoth, and then the forest of Endor, or the planet of Endor, the Ewok planet, I think.
oh yeah, at yeah or at
That with the
yeah,
the
yeah.
AT-ATs
That
running
was
around and
awesome.
everything, and it's really cool how they did it. So I think that that show's production is really good. Will
It's
Arnett's a
super
great
good.
host.
And I
He's
love Will Arnett. We talked about Flake. Somebody on Twitter today was like, "What show would you love to have another season of?" And I was like, "Flaked on Netflix." Like, we never got season 3, and there is
yeah
more to Will Arnett's character and all of that cast. I mean that, and I would say Breaking Bad. I mean, I think Breaking Bad ended very well, but still, you wanted more of it.
yeah. You know what? For me, it had to be a Sopranos. That ending was just
Surprise.
so sudden, you know.
Yeah.
And was Tony whacked or was he not whacked? David Chase, I think, hasn't really expanded
Those
on.
are the always ones where you're like, come on, where it
Yeah,
was a very, very open door. Silicon. Did you watch this past season of Silicon Valley?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've watched
So
it all.
I think it ended well, but it still ended where it could continue, which obviously it's not going to. But that's kind of how.
Yeah,
But that show is, it. You can't have like a dramatic ending. It ended the best it
yeah,
can. Have you? I'm excited for Barry. I know it's been postponed, the production and everything, but I think that's one of the best written shows out there too.
yeah. I need to watch that because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, Barry is great, and I mean both seasons and with cliffhanger spoiler. But I mean that I'm not giving one, but it's one of those shows. It's a dramedy.
Yeah,
Some of Bill Hader's best work. And, we talked about last episode, but um, yeah, that's one of those shows that I'm so excited. Also, The Boys on Amazon. I can't wait for season 2 of that. If you have not seen The Boys on Amazon, go watch it. It's an interesting take on superheroes.
yeah. It's not the cliche
Not your
superhero
usual.
show. Yeah,
Yeah. It's not to bring the family together.
yeah.
Not as
It's
appropriate, but it is a good take. There's so much good and like so on Instagram yesterday, and Snap, I was like, hey, what are you binge watching? So there's some good recommendation because there right now, there's obviously time to watch so much, and there's so many good shows and shows to go back. Last episode we talked about Boardwalk Empire.
yeah.
There's so many.
Oh yeah, this is a great time to catch up on shows that you haven't been able to really watch. For those of you who are at home, there's tons of good ones out there, and Flake's one of those ones we talked about it last week, but it kind of like flew under the radar. It was a
Yeah,
lot of
it
hard,
did.
a whole lot of marketing put behind it, but I'm telling you, like that's a really well written show that that I really wanted more of. And yeah, it's just it's cool to see Will Arnett in such a pretty like serious
Very
role.
serious. Serious. A lot of there's comedy in it, but it's very dramatic.
Yeah, it's a very dramatic show, but like I said, it's good.
No,
Um,
it's solid.
what else have we been watching? You know, uh, I'm closing all these tabs. What else has been
I
going
think
on?
everything else has kind of been going on. I mean, not
Hmm.
too much. I think like everybody just adapting. You know,
How's the camera looking? Still
it's
looking?
looking good. Yeah. So from the video standpoint, we were testing this out, and Matt got a new webcam. By the way, he got a webcam. Looks awesome. I finally ordered one. It's on the way. But it was focusing when we're in and out when we're
Oh
testing
yeah,
out doing that. So it looks good. See your Pangonia hat.
yeah.
Pangonia reached out to us. Shameless
Patagonia.
sponsor, but
It's
no, it looks
actually
good.
Yeah,
It looks
this
really good.
Patagonia hat's actually one of the most comfortable hats I own.
It looks comfortable. It
Yeah,
looks
it's like
comfortable.
the inside right here, it's like padded a little bit.
The only reason why I'm not wearing a cap like I did last time is because I tamed the cowlick after the shower because I took a shower before this and I've been wearing caps. Even though nobody's seeing me, like, you can have bedhead during this time. No one cares. But I'm
Right.
still, I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
So I've been throwing on caps left and right. And then when I walk my dog, I'm like, yeah, caps. Just because I think, obviously, your wife cut your hair, but like a lot of people are in much need of a haircut or
Right. Well,
beard.
this
I
is
don't really
like,
trim my own beard.
yeah, well, like how I'm set up right now is like the quintessential podcast guy. I have a hat on and I have like
I know. You're like if
these
there was a
on.
logo, like
Yeah, like I could
kind
have
of like
my,
Brian
like
Redband.
Joe Rogan has. He
Yeah.
has
Well,
his
Brian
face.
Redband, he used to be on Joe Rogan all the time, and he brings him on. He's a comedian. He would always have the
Yeah.
cap and the
Right.
Brian Redband on.
Yeah, I should do something like that. But then
But
again, it's not, yeah, it's
the
a
caps are
podcast
cool.
for two
Caps
people.
are cool. You know, to wear.
Yeah, I wore a Rangers one last week since,
Yeah.
ideally in a perfect world, well, not a perfect world, but a better world than what
They
we're
would have
experiencing
been
right now.
in a brand new place.
They would have
Yeah.
been playing at their new indoor ballpark, but what can we
Eventually.
do? Trying to flatten that curve, right?
Yeah,
Trying to flatten
hopefully.
that curve.
Fingers
Yeah.
crossed, but doing stuff like this, it helps take the mind off everything else
Yeah.
is going on. So
Yeah, I mean, like this camera does look good. Don't get me wrong, but like, I think eventually, I will probably get a 1080p once
yeah,
demand goes down, and then use this one for like if we're traveling.
yeah.
I'll probably do
And
that.
again, like GoPro would be good. GoPro
Yeah,
is awesome.
Go,
GoPros are everywhere.
I love
Uh,
GoPros, but like they're a little expensive. But I do really
they're a
want
little up
one.
there. Yeah.
But
But I mean,
they're
that
you
one
get
time
what you pay
investment.
for.
Yeah, no, you do. I mean, with a lot of equipment, production equipment. I mean, it's what's your approach to it and your purpose, and it's one of those hopefully one time investment because you want it to last. Kind of like our
Yeah.
Yeti mics, that we're using. You can't really see, well, you kind of see mine, but
Yeah.
it's
Here's
something
mine.
you're gonna. Yeah, there you go. See, that's perfect. We both have
Mine
blue
has the
now.
pop filter
Oh no,
on
I have a
it,
black one. You have a blue one.
even though I'm not really close enough for it to be necessary.
Yeah.
But like, I don't
No,
want to. I
the
don't want to.
image. We're giving you the visual podcast image.
Yeah.
We
If it
don't have the
was,
ones. I forget the number. It's a number, but the one that a lot of them do that like circle, over. They're really good. But the
yeah.
Yeti is awesome.
See, like I could be like super quintessential podcast guy and then have my microphone right here, and I could just be like,
Yeah,
every time I talk, I like turn
like
into it.
mode. I
But
like
but this thing picks up pretty good just sitting right here where people can't see
Yeah, no,
us.
it's great. It's a very good portable mic to have. So we'll take it on.
Yeah.
Man, we've been in this for a good little amount of time.
How long?
Well, I think we started 6:30, 6:40. Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Has it been that long?
I think so.
It's been 2 hours.
Hey, we're on that Joe Rogan. We're on that 2 hour
Has it really been that
podcast.
long? I actually can't tell the duration of this Zoom. It doesn't really
Yeah,
tell you.
it's well, I mean, we've been doing good.
Okay. Well, I did not know that we've been really like
Yeah,
2 hours. Like,
this is the longest episode in the history of Brewing Conversation.
has it? It just does not feel like we've talked about that much.
I
Even.
know. We went from beer to we traveled to the Bahamas. We got barbecue in this podcast. Went to a couple Rangers games.
Yeah,
We went through the seasons.
that's unscripted for you. Like, yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely weren't planning that, but oh well.
What happens when you have a 16% Imperial Stout?
Yeah, I guess so, right?
Takes you on a vision quest.
Yeah, 9.2% and a 16% is
Yeah.
what I had.
Well, there you go. You add those numbers up. You're doing good.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. If it's
Well, I mean, hopefully someone sits through this. Hey.
yeah. These together are like 25%. So
there you go.
I'm a quarter alcohol right now.
I always try just not to round any of that up. I just kind of like,
Yeah.
I'll get water at some point.
Couple of good beers though, man, I tell you. But
Also, I had a 5 and 7, so that kind of is not far from where you're at, and or at least your first beer. And I have not eaten dinner. I'm good, but I'm just saying, like, but yeah. So, yeah, it's been good.
All right, right on. Well, is there anything else we wanted to talk about? I guess we are at 2 hours, huh?
We have covered the field. We are getting close to not far off from being an Avengers movie.
No kidding. Yeah, seriously.
Not quite The Irishman, but longer than what we usually do. But it was good. There's always content. No, not too much. I mean, like once again.
Yeah.
We keep saying this because during this time it's very important. Go support your local businesses. Go support your local breweries, which is part of that. This being a craft beer podcast, majority of it. So, I mean, I think that's important.
Yeah, for sure. Like we talked about last week, I think it's important for people to maintain a positive attitude. Go outside and enjoy the good weather while you can. Get a little bit of exercise. If it's walking, fine. If it's running, okay, if it's CrossFit, okay, you're trying a little hard, but I think it's good to go out and enjoy the weather and kind of get outside of the house and, keep thinking positively, stay healthy, wash the hands like everyone's been doing. I noticed a lot of people are wearing masks now, so that's probably a good thing. So, that way we can flatten the curve and get out of this thing, and we can open the economy back up. Businesses will go back up. Everything will kind of level out. But until then, it's only like April 10th. I think we're supposed to peak sometime this week or next week in the
I
US
think
for
for
coronavirus.
Dallas, the whole I think April 30th is kind of what but May 20th is, at least for Dallas.
That's what I heard was May 20th.
But overall, I think nationally, could be wrong, I think is April 30th. So we'll see. Everything is really week by week. But if everybody does their part and takes the right precautions, we can. I know it's hard with gatherings and stuff like that, but we just got to get through it. And once we get through it, this doesn't have to be a permanent lifestyle.
Yeah.
But we have to do our part. And like you said, flatten the curve and just be mindful and smart, and we'll get through this. And you'll be back to doing, and you'll probably even, I'll be honest, even more appreciative and grateful, just because if anything during this time too, it's brought you closer to people, maybe obviously not physically, but you're reaching out, you're constant, because for most people, we're used to being in a work environment setting where you're interacting and talking to people. So this gives you time to you're picking up the phone and you're doing stuff like this through Zoom a lot more. You're connecting a lot more because you're not seeing people, if you're doing the right things, constantly.
Yeah. I think it's been weird too that people haven't been going to see movies,
Yeah, that's a big thing too. A lot of movies got pushed back, postponed. I know Wonder Woman got pushed to at least August. Some movies that were supposed to be out in March and April are coming out on demand. Movie industry is very tough. So when this is all over, hopefully, definitely go support your theaters as well. But this is definitely, it's, we'll get through it. That's the big thing. But we're here, Brewing Conversation, to entertain you in some factor, and we realize we can pull up, if you're watching this visually, website. So we'll take you on a visual destination.
Right. And hopefully with time, the quality of which will increase when we get better cameras and whatnot.
This is all new. The whole video aspect is brand new. We've been doing this for a couple of years now, and we're mainly just focused on audio. But obviously with social media, everything in YouTube, which has been popular for years, obviously, but it is a great medium for podcasts, especially if you have the visual component. And Zoom looks really, really good too. So, yeah.
For sure. Well, all right, everybody. Well, thanks for always.
Last call.
Yeah. I mean, thank you everyone for continuing to listen to the show.
Yeah.
And, we appreciate the support, and we'll keep, we'll do this at minimum every Friday if possible.
Yeah, if we can. That's the goal. That's the goal. And, we'll keep promoting these breweries, and but we always have stories. We always have things. There's always news, that we like to kind of chime in. We don't get political with that, but there's a lot of stuff going on pop culture wise that really intrigue both of us here that we like to kind of give our 2 cents.
Yeah. And remember, we can find our videos now at Brewing Conversation at YouTube. We have an Instagram. Of course, we have a Facebook page, so feel free to inquire therein. Or if you want, you can send us an email at brewingconversation@gmail.com if there's something you want us to
Hey, if there's any beers you want us to check out that we're not covering here, and we will do that. Or if there's any food spots you want us to order from currently, eventually visit in person, we'll do that too. Any music, anything.
Exactly.
We'll talk about it.
Right. If there's a band out there that you really think that we should give more credit to or pay attention to, especially in the DFW or even in Texas in general, just let us know, and we'll talk about them. We'll promote them where we can. I just promoted my friend's band, Crooked Numbers, last week. Charlie's friends are in Little Giants. Very enjoyable band that we've both seen live multiple times. We're all about promoting local musicians out there. Tavi actually did a live
Oh, Tavi
segment.
Thompson. Yeah, I saw that today. Yeah,
Yeah,
Tavi's awesome. Check him out. I mean,
yeah,
talk about such a skilled performer, and
yeah.
he's one of his team theories. And he was on the podcast.
Right, and yeah, Tavi was on the podcast for Steam Theory's 1 year, and he actually had a live stream set up today, and he also had a Venmo account open, so if you wanted to tip him. So if musicians are doing that, and if you follow them
Yeah.
and you really like their stuff, you're like, yeah, try to support them if you're able to. I think obviously if the bars and restaurants and venues are closed, they don't really have a way to perform in front of people. I think Little Giants did something live.
Yeah, they've been doing almost every Saturday. They've been doing a live stream for YouTube, Twitch,
Cool.
Facebook. So I believe they may be doing one tomorrow night as well. This, of course, we're recording this on a Friday, but it'll be Saturday. Check them out. They do a great job. They'll perform several songs, originals and covers, like they do when they're normally performing. So
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, so everyone, stay safe out there, and hopefully we'll see you for episode 31.
all right.